I had this friend that I decided to cut out of my life because literally every time I would have a conversation with her, it was always about her. And it would always make me feel drained and anxious every time I hung up the phone. It's like I couldn't do anything apart just rest because she had taken all my energy. I knew this girl for 4 or 5 years, and every time we would talk, she would literally bring up her narcissistic boyfriend and how the relationship is not doing well, and she always wanted advice. But there was one day that came that I realized I can't help her with her situation, and she's not changing, and this is just not good for my mental health anymore. And it was just always about her, and she was taking all my energy, and I told myself this is not how it needs to be in my life. I'm worth more than this. Okay, I had completely lost myself in the end because we were pretty close, and she would just always call me up to tell me the same thing. So one day I woke up and I realized I need to put boundaries, and I can't lose myself trying to help someone else, because at the end of the day, people are going to do what they want to do, and you cannot change them. And what I realized, when you try to give people opinions, they're going to either way do what they want in the end. So in order for you to not lose yourself or find yourself in this type of situation that I did, that you have maybe found yourself in before, is to put boundaries or just walk away. There are certain people we could walk away from, and there's other people, sometimes like family or some other people, that it's very hard to walk away from. The best thing to do is to walk away from these people, but if not, is to put boundaries. You have to start loving yourself more and knowing your worth, and be like, it's okay. I can only give this person what I have. If it's 2 minutes on the phone, that's fine. You don't need to stay hours on end like I used to do with this girl. And I decided in our friendship to walk away and just close the door. I told myself this was enough. She was one of my best friends that I was friends with for years. Well, we were friends on and off, actually, because there was many times I tried to break up the friendship, but she didn't want me to break up the friendship. And I finally decided the other day, you know what, I'm blocking her, and she's never hearing from me again. And honestly, in the beginning, I was pretty scared, but then I started feeling better, because what I realized is that I need to take care of my mental health. And in the end, it wasn't doing well. She was always making me feel very low. She was telling me about how to be, how to talk. She was telling me, stop looking like a nice girl. You should look like more tough. You should look more like this, more like that. She was basically trying to be my mother without being my mother. And in the end, this situation just really got out of hand. And I told myself I don't need to be around this girl, and I need to learn to love myself. But in the beginning, guys, it's going to be hard to let go, especially if it's a toxic relationship or friendship. It's going to be hard because you're so used to that toxicity. Like, I know I had an attachment with this girl, even though there was not much feeling left anymore. There was just that attachment of being familiar with someone, and that's pretty hard to break in the beginning. And for me, I had a lot of anxiety. Everyone's different though. The first few days I had anxiety. Now I'm feeling better, but it's important to realize that you're the most important person in your life. And the second someone is always coming to you to just dump on you and talk about themselves, and they don't care about you, that's a parasitic friendship, a one-way friendship, or it could even be in relationships. The person always wants to talk but doesn't really care about what you have to say. So the first thing you need to do is be aware of these people so you don't fall into their drama. The second thing is to enjoy your own time so you don't feel vulnerable to just call them up, because these are people you've known for a long time, or you have something in common with, and you just want to feel like you have something in common with someone, because you can just like spend time with yourself. It's okay to have friends, but when it comes to the point that you're dreading talking to them on the phone, or your intuition's telling you like it's done, you shouldn't call them, maybe it's time to give that up. But loving yourself is a journey, and you need to know you're worth it, and you need to be around people who give as much as you give. But if you don't put those limits, you're just going to attract people who just want to take. So that's another point. Know your worth. Know what you will put up with and what you won't put up with. Now, there's periods in your life where your friends might be feeling lower than you, and there's other periods where you might be feeling lower than them. That's okay. But at the end of the day, when there's that equal understanding, that equal exchange will balance itself out no matter what, even if it's in the future, or it's a bit disbalanced right now. But it's very, very important to distinguish between the two, to know the truth and the difference between someone who is just a taker and when someone is just having a bad time. But when you're gonna have a bad time, they're gonna be there too. And you know what, you're gonna realize these things one day at a time. I realize you don't learn your boundaries overnight. It comes with time and through experience, because if you don't fail in life, how are you going to go forward? Bad things don't happen to you if you don't get used or manipulated at least once in your life. How are you going to learn? We've all been used or manipulated to a certain extent in our life, and that's how we learn. It's not always easy, but this is how you learn in life. And always be open to learning more every day. And when it comes to loving yourself and your boundaries, take it one day at a time. Love yourself a bit more a day at a time, because there is times you're going to screw up. You might give more than what you didn't want to give but felt used. These things will happen, but don't blame yourself and be hard on yourself or tell yourself, I'm always going to be this person. No, people change, and with time, everything will get better. And you know what? Maybe at first it will be hard to leave these toxic friendships, and you're going to feel a lot of anxiety because you were used to toxicity for so long. But eventually you're going to feel so much better, and you're going to feel like you're going to go way more forward in life. And yeah, anyways, though, I hope this share helped you guys. I hope this video helped you guys, and I will see you on the next one. Bye. I know you told your friend you're not okay.